Hi guys, so today I'm going to be taking up the nasturtiums. A little bit sad, but next year we're going to have them out the front. We're going to have them out the front if we haven't moved by then, which we're kind of still hoping to move by then. But until that, we're going to put them out the front in pots at the front. So that means they all have to come up, because otherwise they're going to take over these 3 beds, which means that we won't be able to use them for anything else. So yeah, let's get on with it. Okay, so we're going to pull out our nasturtiums. One of the things we're going to go through these first, because we are going to harvest some of the flowers, some of the leaves, and all of the seeds. Wow, okay. Oh my god. Part of the reason we need to get the seeds out of there, because they will self-seed to a point of no return. So I'm just going to go put these on the... Oh my god! Good lord. Okay. You want to make sure that if you can see any nasturtium seeds floating around in the ground, pull them out. Get them out. These things will go mad. Oh look! Oh, there's our little baby carrots. Couldn't get much more baby than that, could you? What is that? I have no idea what this is. I'm going to pull it out because I don't think it's something that we want. Oof. Some more of these out. He's tiny. They really just didn't grow well at all this year. But they were cute. They're cute. Right. Okay. Good grief. Oh, sneaky. Mine. Out of the way, because it seems to be not doing good things for the garlic. Yeah, that can go quick. jeez. That wasn't good. It's probably a good idea removing these legs, dear. Definitely going to be a problem if they stay in this bed. That one back in there. Garlic, right. Whew. Okay. Right. So now I have to pick the back sleeves off, get the best flowers off, and get all the seeds. And I think the seeds are definitely going to be made into poor man's capers or some more, because they really worked. So hold tight. I think we're going to go through these stalk by stalk and see what we can find. To be honest, we want to get some decent greens because that's going to go into salads. We can also cook them down like you can spinach. So you want some really good ones. And I'm picking from the bottom of the leaf rather than the top because I found slugs under these. Yeah, I did. Slugs. Things we can do without them. So, after all of that, that's taken for ages by the way, we've got a shed ton of leaves, which I'm going to cook down like spinach in a bit, and I'm going to tempura butter some. I'm going to dry off our flowers that were worth keeping, and then we've got all of those seeds in there, and I'm going to munch on the carrots. But as you can hear, the kettle's boiling because I'm freezing. Not gonna lie, it's a bit nippy out there, so I'm gonna go have a brew and I'll be back. Okay, so just a little side thing. Tanny has been really busy this afternoon making some really yummy coconut.
Oh, yeah.
It's getting excited then. Coconut cupcake bun things, and he said I can have one from the end, so I'm going to.
No, top.
You said the far end.
That end there, but there you can have one of them if you want the darker ones, but not these. These ones are just not long come out. But I know you want one of them ones, and you want in that one, aren't you? Because it's the biggest one out there.
Well, no, because it's got a knobbly bit, and that's all the crispiness, and it's all really yummy. So I'm going to take it in here. Bye. Okay, so Tanny, this is one of his wonderful little coconut buns, cakes. I'm going to nick the little crispy bit that's got a nice little, look how soft that is. Look at that. And it's got all the crispy bits, which is like caramelized sugar. Oh my god.
I think I should take that off you.
I'm
trying to help you. Here, I'll take that off you.
I'm going to put the recipe down below for you guys for this, because they're really good. Seedy bits. Okay. So we get to the fun part where we need to rinse off all our wonderful bits of nasturtium and stuff. These have actually gotten quite dirty and there's lots of little bits and muddy bits in them, so I want to get these flowers nicely clean before we actually put them on racks. They're going to go on racks to dry. Whew. Right, one lot. This is the big one. It's all our wonderful leaves we managed to harvest. Oh gosh, we got quite a lot. Oh. Now, what I'm going to do with these is I'm actually going to cook them off as if they were spinach, so that I can put them in the freezer and have them as cooked greens. Because earlier in the year, when we did have our spinach growing, someone decided to walk along our front wall and pick the plants out and just leave them to die, which we found later in the day. So it was not a great thing at all. We just want to make sure these are nice and clean and don't have any bird poop or mud in them. Get the bits out we don't need. Okay, so yeah, you can just wilt these down as you would spinach, and it will give you a more peppery kind of green, and you can use them fresh as you would for spinach or for salad or anything like that. But at this stage, so I've done all that, and I've dried some for teas and infusions and such. I have quite a lot. I think the best way to use these now would be to wilt them and freeze them, which is what I plan to do. Okay, pop those on there. We don't need to add any water because it's got plenty from where they were rinsed. Ooh, a little bit of mud, right. Okay. So we're just going to wilt these now so that they are able to be put into bags and frozen. Now I did have the idea of maybe doing a temp or batter with some of them, which you could, and I'm not dead against the idea. It's just for time's sake and the fact that I don't really have a lot of time this afternoon. I want to get these done. I'd rather get them all done before dark. But yeah, they'll just get them to wilt down a bit. Okay, so we're gonna put our flowers all out to dry. We need to snip off the stems, chuck those in the sink. I've just put a couple of cake racks over a baking tray. Now these will probably take maybe a week to dry. I have got the buds as well. Now they will dry just as well and are just as nice in things like tea. Also, like earlier in the year we were using some of these for salads. It's a bit past that sort of time of the year now, and they give you a really nice sort of peppery taste to your salad, which is really great. But in teas, they're very therapeutic and very, very good for your digestion. So a good one to have, really. As you can see, it has wilted right down to that little bit at the bottom of the pot. So as we're almost there, I think we're going to, I think that's pretty much done actually. And now all we have to do is strain them. and you in there. Off you go. And we're going to, oh, a little bit left, ouch, warm. There we go. Okay. So they then stay there for a bit until they're nice and cold. Because we can't put them in bags in the freezer while they're steaming like that. But that's pretty much it. Done. Okay, so we're going to finish off doing our little poor man's capers. So what we do with the seeds, now you have to separate them first. So it's a little bit labour intensive, not majorly so, but it's a very, very simple thing to do. Now I love capers. I do. I could sit there with a jar of them and eat them. Okay, so what we need to do is have maybe a tablespoon of salt. Okay, because we're going to make a pickling brine, and then a cup of white vinegar or thereabouts, maybe 2 cups, whatever, as long as you've got enough for them to float around in, it should be fine. Okay, now it's very rare that you'll see me do pickles with that sort of vinegar in them, but this will happen. Okay, and we've just got to let them boil. This has cooled off quite a lot now, so we're just going to put them in little ziplocky bags. These ones I like because I can actually reuse them. So we're going to put, ooh, it is still quite steamy, but we're going to still put them in the bags. We just won't put them in the freezer. Now I like using the Ziploc bags because 1, I can reuse them, and 2, you can pack everything flat in the freezer. I'm not going to overload the bags because the chances are that it's only going to be me eating it. So I'm just going to fill them with enough for maybe 1, maybe 2 servings in each one, and that'll be perfect then. And I can pack that into the freezer flat. And then we can put lots on top of each other rather than having lots of screwed up little bags everywhere. Okay, here we go. For lots of containers, which, although I prefer to use containers because they are more likely to be able to be used again, and we want to get as much of the air out as possible as well. Unfortunately, they do tend to take up too much room. So out of all of that nasturtium leaves, we've got 10 serves. So, but those 10 serves can go as far as you want them to. That's only if you were just serving it as a vegetable. So, you know, they could be used any way that you would use spinach. You can use the nasturtium leaves. They're just a little peppery. You can actually smell that while they're cooking, and it's absolutely amazing. We're just going to pop over here for a second. And our pickled capers are just about done. Now they've only taken, the time it's taken me to bag those bags up was about 5 minutes, which isn't that long at all. Now all we have to do is test them, especially the big ones, because they have to be soft enough to put a nail through. Fingernail. There you go. Done. They're done. That's it. That's all there is to it. Now all we have to do is jar them up. So we've just got a little jar that we've used before, because we keep all our jars. And all we have to do is just pour that straight into the jar. Simple. Done. Now I have a jar of these that I've already created, but I'm not going to mix the two together. There's a little bit of time between them. Now you can use those however you want. However you would use normal capers, that's how you use these. Alright? And it's all done. So, out of our 8 plants of nasturtiums, which normally would get thrown away and people tend to grow just for the bees, we've got 10 serves of nasturtium leaves, which, you can use as any old green. We have probably £3 worth, including the other jar in the cupboard. We have about £4 worth of poor man's capers, or the equivalent in capers, and we have a jar of nasturtium flowers, which are all being dried, and they, for tea, is very expensive for that amount. It's around about £14. So, quite frankly, I think we've had a win. I'm off. I will see you guys another time. If you like this video, please do give us a thumbs up, because it really, really does help. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. I would love to see you here. And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, because that means that you will see when my videos pop up. Thank you. I will see you guys again. Bye.